From falling in love while traveling on a school excursion to making travel their life, we explore travel as a creative way of being with Prabha and Harsha Koda. Theirs is a marriage made not in heaven, but on all the roadways to heaven. A conversation spanning chai shops and highways across India, culture, food, adventure, politics, a major accident, life truths, couple goals, and a lot of fun. Set in a heritage location of a 100-year-old Chettinad Palace, this episode has a little bit of everything with one big takeaway. Welcome to the Epiphany Sutra podcast, and thank you for suggesting this wonderful heritage destination, ancestral palace for recording this episode. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Harsha, and
I'm Prabha.
so we run a startup company where we help new companies set up themselves, and that's just 20% of our life. 80% of our life is traveling, finding new experiences, finding new places, hidden gems, so we can suggest to people like you, and in the bargain, get to spend another day here.
Why do you travel?
Good question.
Um, Travel is life for me. So that's why I travel to live.
Okay.
And
Okay, there's a question we often get, not why do we travel, how do we manage to travel,
Okay.
right? So everybody is caught up in life, you got to earn your living, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you say, when I retire, when I'm 60 years old, I'm going to travel and see the earth, right? That's not going to happen. At 60, you'll have arthritis, you'll have diabetes, you can't enjoy any food, you'll be hypertensive, you can't hike, you can't do anything. So, what's the point of waiting that long? So, we decided every other month we decide on one place to go and then we go. So, we do about 3 or 4 trips in a year, and that's why we travel because we don't want to wait till we are 60. So, that's why we started 25, 30 years ago.
so
Amazing.
let me add something here. It's like we work to travel. So it's like we finish a project, okay, get the money, and then we travel. We just think of a place or decide to go. So we work to live. So we work to travel. So that's the way our life keeps going.
Amazing. So you said you started traveling 25, 30 years ago. What prompted that? I mean, did either of you travel a lot as a child, or did you never travel, which is why you thought, oh, okay, yes, I think when I grow up, I will travel a lot.
So my dad worked for a fuel company. So he sold fuel.
Okay.
I just buy fuel. I ensured that his job had some meaning and that because he sold so much, I buy so much.
Okay.
But my dad was a traveling salesman. So he traveled a lot for work and it was almost never for vacation.
Okay.
By road, that is.
Okay.
So when we were growing up, there were very few instances where we traveled to go and see some place. Most of it, of course, is always going to grandmother's place, grandfather's place, uncle's place, auntie's place, whatever. That was primarily it. But he did take a few things off to say, let's go to Konark, let's drive to Konark, let's do this, let's do that. So we did a bit of travel, but that was just the start of it. And when we got married, we said, we're going to travel every other month or whatever. So we made a resolution for that and we tried to keep up to that.
Yeah, I think it is in the genes for me. My dad was a traveler. He used to drive. He used to
Okay.
drive a lot in those years, in those days, and I believe he had a jeep which he used to drive around and take anybody and everybody who came home on a drive. Like,
Okay.
chalo, let's go, let's get in the car and go. So I suppose it's in the genes for me, and that's how. I enjoy traveling and I enjoy driving in the car more than traveling. I would say driving in the car.
How did you two meet?
We met in school,
Uh,
and we did our schooling
High
together.
school, middle school?
High school.
Okay.
So it was like I think traveling was in our it was part of our life. So even then we would say, okay, when we are together, we're going to travel to these places, do this. So that was also a huge part of our
By
lives.
by any chance, did your love story blossom when you were on a school travel
Yes,
or
yes.
something?
It was in a school trip, the school excursion with 60 other classmates all together in one bus. And that's when we found a lot of things we hit off on. And we said it may be a good idea to spend the rest of our lives together because there are more things we agree on than we disagree on. So
Usually, people love to flaunt the stamps on their passport.
Yeah.
What is it that you flaunt?
I would say we love to flaunt our stories, the adventures, the stories that we've had during our travel. So that our record of our photographs, because the number of places and the so many places that we've been to are relatively unknown, and the experiences that we've had. So when we tell them as a story to people, they just listen wide-eyed with. So we just love to flaunt our stories.
I think if you say flaunt and if you want to compare to stamps on a passport, I would say we've almost ticked off every single highway in India. So
Okay.
every highway has a number, and the moment the government announces and says we are building a new sub highway, some bypass, something, then we'll say, hey, we haven't been there.
Okay.
So even today, there are highways which we still think we haven't gone to. And then when we suddenly go on that and you see this board saying 768E NH, then you say, hey, this is the first time we are on this road. So then we take a moment, applaud and say, new road alert, and we just cheer that.
So what I'd like to add here is when people tell us, "Have you been on this road?" they ask. So we immediately we'd like to say yes. So that is why we try to do this of going on every road possible in India.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you take the road more than anything else.
Yes.
What is there like a record that you have made on the road? Like, maybe the highest road or
Oh yes, oh yes. We've been to the highest road in India. We've done the longest, worst road in India. We've driven the longest time in one trip.
what was that?
That was the borderline drive.
Okay.
So what we did once,
Yeah,
see
tell us
when you
about the
start,
borderline
yeah.
drive.
So when we start traveling, initially it was like let's go here, let's go there. So at some point of time, you start thinking, okay, why are we going here? Why? So we started doing these theme drives. So one of the first theme drives that we did was the borderline drive, where we wanted to touch the borders of India, drive along the borders of India, as much as a common man can. Like if you get military permissions and all that, you can go right up to the border, which we did in some places. But mostly it was like going along the borders of India, marking every 100 kilometers on the GPS. So at the end of the trip, what I wanted was when you join the dots that I have marked, that's the India map for a common man.
Right.
So that is what we wanted to do, and that is what we achieved doing the borderline drive.
That-
So a little flashback into that was when we bought our first car. We bought our first car in 2000, and that's when we took the car. We did that usual puja that you do in that Ganpati temple on the roadside, and he's supposed to bless your car and all that. So we did that, and next morning we said, okay, where do we go? So being in Chennai, for us the nearest hop was say go to Pondicherry.
Right.
So we went to Pondicherry, and after that we said, but this is only like a 150 200 kilometers drive, so what do we do next? So the next morning from Pondicherry we left, we went to Bangalore, and then we explored a few places. On the fourth day we were back in Chennai, and normally when you buy a new car you're supposed to give the service after 1000 kilometers, and they give you 1 month to do that. So the dealership says 1000 kilometers or 1 month later you're supposed to bring your car. On the fourth day after buying the car, we were at the dealership for our first service. We had done 1000 kilometers. And the surprising part was nobody in the service center was trained to service our car. because it was a new model. Maruti had just come out with an MPFI car and nobody knew how to service it because they didn't expect anybody to come in 4 days. They were expecting me to go there 1 month later. So that's where the bug caught us, and we said, till we finish exploring the entire country, we will not take any other form of transport. So we said, wherever we want to go, we'll go by car. And that's where we decided that we'll do only road travel, no train, no bus, no flight for the last 25 years. There are a few instances where we could not go, and that can be counted on fingers, and we'll still have fingers to spare. We have done that few amount of non-road travels.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Uh,
So we were talking about the borderline drive.
right, yes.
Yeah. So you were asking about the borderline drive. So that's how we planned it out, the borderline drive to. So we started in Bombay, and at the Gateway of India, we thought it was apt to start at the Gateway of India, and we started there, and we did the border along the Gujarat run coastal Gujarat. Then we did the westernmost point of India. Westernmost point of India is a lake. It's called Sarovar, Narayan Sarovar. So we went there. Then we drove along border of Rajasthan border, which touches Pakistan border. There again, we've had amazing experiences. So if we start talking about every story in the borderline drive, it's going to take a long time. But just to put it briefly, we did the route Rajasthan, then we did Punjab, then Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, and then along Nepal border, and then northeast, entire where we went to the Kashmir, we went to the northernmost point of India, and then we did easternmost point of India, where the sun touches India first.
Okay.
So that point, and then we came down, and then the coast, the entire coast we did. So that was our route, and at that point of time, no one else had done. So I could say it was a record at that point of India, at that point of time.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I guess not only did you make record, but you have also touched these roads that have a significance, like the northeast or the eastmost or the highest, right? So since you said that if you're going to talk about each one of them, that is never ending. So I'm going to try to make it easier, but perhaps it could make it difficult for you. But it can also be fun. So, what is one of the craziest things that you have encountered while traveling?
Having a cup of tea, I think, is the craziest thing that happens, because tea shop in every part of the country is different. So normally in South India, if you go and have a chai, and you ask somebody for that, then they'll ask you, where are you come from? Then they'll see your number plate. Then they'll say, oh, you're from so-and-so state. Okay, why did you come here? Family problem, family function, something. They're curious. They want to know everything. But things turn completely on the other side when you go and have tea in a Kashmiri tea shop. Somewhere in Jammu Kashmir Valley or somewhere, if you have tea. You park your car, and by the time you get down from the car and order your tea, all the people who were in the tea shop would get up and go away. And the only person left in the tea shop would be the tea wala, chai wala, and you.
Okay.
And then he would have noticed how many people are in the car, and he would have made that many chais and made it ready. So that really threw us off on the first time we experienced it. And that was explained to us by somebody. And that's because...
It was something like, see, always in a sensitive region, in all over the world, the common man, the citizen. See, we are always concentrating in our drives on the common man, how a common person lives, or when we meet them, we talk to them about their stories. So the common man in Kashmir is struggling to live, just to exist. Forget live, even to exist. So when a strange person, or when a tourist, or when anybody outside their state comes into their state, they are very scared to talk to them, because what happens is there are the terrorists and there's the army. So the army is doing their duty. The terrorists, in their own way, they watch the citizen talk to a stranger, so they immediately get suspicious and go and like kind of uh, harass the common man. What is it? Who is that? What were you talking? And all that. And the similar thing, the Indian Army is worried that the person who was talking, the chai wala, who could be talking to a terrorist, planning something, which is again his line of duty, and he goes in. So the common man is just doesn't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. Let me be. Let me just go and do my work. So that is why that happens in a chai shop in Kashmir.
But there are other sides to it as well. If you go to somewhere in Bihar or West Bengal or some of those interior areas and you ask for directions, of course you have Google Maps, but there's always some ambiguity to it. So you want to ask somebody, you do want to take a left turn or a right turn. Normally I would be driving, so Prabha would get down and she'll ask for directions. And she would.
What happens in I would say Eastern UP, Bihar, and West Bengal, you get transported to the 16th century or 15th century,
Okay.
which is essentially a male-dominated society, and I get down. So this happened to us. I get down at a chai shop, which is isolated in a very, very isolated area, and there's nothing else inside. Now, it's just this place. So possibly people from the nearby villages were coming there and having chai or and talking. So there's this guy making samosas right in front of the shop. So I get down from the car and I go there and I ask him, भैया ये रोड इस तरफ जाना है, इस तरफ जाना है कहाँ? He doesn't even look up. It's like I'm invisible to him. And then I go in. There's a silence. It was so lively and full chat, and there was not a single lady inside. So everybody becomes silent, and they're just staring at me, looking at me up and down. Kind of after about 2 minutes, I become uncomfortable because you do. They're not talking to me, they're not answering me, but they're just looking at me up and down. So I go back to the car and I tell Harsha, yeah, you have to go. I don't think these guys are going to talk to me. So you have to go and get. So that was a very different, crazy experience, I would say, that I had when I went into, and this is not just chai shops. In these three places which I was saying, I just cannot, if I get down and ask, they are not talking to me for the question that I'm asking, but it's always looking at me up and down. What is this female? Females are supposed to be inside their houses doing their work. What is she doing coming here all alone and talking to us? That is there even till date in these places. So that was really crazy.
Wow.
But there's also a very fun aspect to eating chai, because in most of these hilly places you don't have restaurants like we have down south in India, or in the middle part of India you have a lot of restaurants where you can get breakfast at 7:30, 6:30 in the morning. So in these kind of places you will get chai and samosa in the morning. Now if you think that a samosa is a well constructed puri and aloo together, then it is considered as breakfast, right? It's just a mindset. It's either constructed or it's deconstructed, so it's puri or samosa. So with that in mind, we stopped at one place and we were trying to buy some samosas and stuff, and there were a bunch of kids going to school. So they were all standing there, and then they looked at the car, they looked up and down, they saw the number plate, and then they said, where are they from? They kept staring that. So then Prabha butted in, she asked him.
So it was a place where since the school, it was early in the morning. So I suppose that was the only place where 5-6 villages around, all the school kids from all those villages come there, and the school bus comes there, they get in. So all the people in the villages also were coming. So it was quite a crowd there. So I was watching them and running around the car, and then quietly they came and asked me, कहाँ TN, आप कहाँ से हो? So I said, Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu. As though that, the kids have that way of all know, I know everything. So I said, Tamil Nadu पता है कहाँ है? So it's like, नहीं, तो कहाँ? Then I'm describing the sea to him. I'm describing south. Okay, school, maybe a little geography. So I'm telling him this, that, nothing. Everything went all over his head.
Okay.
Then I said, Chennai, हम Chennai से हैं. हाँ? Chennai Super Kings. So
That's how well IPL has marketed itself, that Chennai Super Kings is a bigger brand than state of Tamil Nadu.
or the sea of the beaches of Tamil Nadu.
Right. I mean, those are such ironies you end up encountering, right?
Yeah, totally.
Since you've been talking about chai and samosa and aloo and puri, what is travel obviously exposes you to food, and while a lot of people prefer to carry their cooks along, and I think one of the most beautiful things about travel is how it exposes one to cultures, traditions, and food is such an inseparable part of culture and tradition. And I'm guessing that you all must be trying, both of you will be trying all kinds of food. So, what is one, I want to say craziest, but feel free to replace that with any other.
Okay.
It could be
We'll start with
spiciest.
we'll
it
start
could-
with
yeah.
crazy and then
Okay.
go on to another different kind of a story about food.
Okay.
So the craziest thing, I have eaten gator burgers in New Orleans, alligator burger.
Wow.
So that for me was crazy.
Okay.
Because I have never heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
So try it. Let me just try it.
Okay.
So that, and Northeast is famous for insects. They eat all kinds of insects for the high protein content in the insect. So I've eaten insects in Northeast.
Okay.
So these are two crazy foods that I would say I have eaten, and some crazy.
I'm not as adventurous as that. I can't eat insects or alligators or whatever. I'm quite comfortable with home food, whatever region we are in. And most of the time when we go to the hotels and like in Kerala, you go now Kerala, everybody serves basmati rice.
Right.
They don't serve the traditional boiled rice or the matta rice you get in South. They don't serve that anymore. Everywhere is basmati. So that's because of the tourist inflow and a lot of North Indian influence and all that. But something that we dread after 15 days into a drive is aloo. Potato is something that you get everywhere. And most hotels, when you walk in, they'll say, first thing they'll offer you is, I'll give you potato fry, or potato this, or aloo that, or aloo this. That's all they can offer you because it's the easiest vegetable to keep, store, cook, whatever. And it's a no brainer. So we were coming back from the Northeast after some 30 days in the Northeast, and we passed a dhaba which had a lot of foreign cars parked, and also we said, oh, it must be a very hip place, and they must have a lot of variety of food here. So we go in there and we asked that guy. He said, I can give you dal fry and potato curry. So I said, no, other than potato, anything. So then he looks at me, oh, diabetic, ah? So I said, no, I'm not diabetic, but I don't want aloo. I've had for last 30 days. So he said, no, I have aloo. That's it. So I said, okay, give up. I mean, it's lunchtime, we got to eat. So I said, some rice, some dal, and some aloo curry. Then I'm just loitering around, and I see right there next to the cook is a mat on which there's cabbage, there's gobi, there's green vegetables, whatever is lying there. So I asked him, you have the vegetables, why can't you just make it for me? You have to cut it, no. So I said, okay, I'll cut it. So he says, no, okay, forget it. Then he calls one old lady, Amma, come here. Then asks her to cut the cabbage. And he said, cabbage, okay. I said, yeah, cabbage, okay, fantastic. So he cuts the cabbage. As they're cutting, I come and tell Prabha, look, you're getting cabbage curry today. No aloo. Great. Like it's going to be a fantastic meal. And then after 5 minutes, that guy comes and says, your cabbage is burning. So I said, okay, toss it. So he says, no, it's your curry, you make it. I don't make. So I said, okay. Then I went, I did all the tossing it around. I made the curry. Then we ate everything. Then at the end of the meal, he says, it's 100 rupees for the whole meal. So I gave him 100 rupees. Then I gave the old lady 100 rupees just for cutting that cabbage for me. She saved my life that day. So, I mean, the thing that we dread is aloo. When you go on a trip, 15 days, 20 days down the line, if you're not lucky, you will only eat aloo.
That's crazy. I have two questions. Since you said aloo and dreading aloo, I feel compelled to ask about a travel kryptonite. Things that you encounter that just sucks everything out of you.
Yes, yes, I can definitely think of something. Um, Dirty toilets and dirty sheets and dirty towels for spending the night in a hotel. That is something I just cannot handle because it's the end of a tiring day.
Right.
I just want to go to. I mean, the hotel doesn't have to be posh. Doesn't have to. A simple place. If it just has clean towels and clean sheets, I am very very happy. But when that is not there, it kind of pulls me down and makes me even more stressed, anxious, and I'm like, okay, now do we have to go hunt around for another hotel to sleep, and it's already late and we are exhausted. So I would say that is my kryptonite. What about you?
Yeah, first, thanks for recognizing us as Superman and whatever, and thinking that we would have a kryptonite. But for me, the kryptonite is air travel or train travel.
Okay.
I would die if I had to do it. I have done a few in the last 25 years due to emergencies or something like that. But it's unbelievable. I can't understand how people can pack their entire trip into 18 kilos or 22 kilos or whatever the stipulated weight is, and the dimensions of that on carry-on baggage and stuff like that. I just can't get it because in our car we have everything in our car. There's shoes under the seat. There's toiletries in the dashboard. There's water in all doors. There's the maximum we've traveled with is 27 pieces of luggage. We've had 27 pieces in the car. Can you imagine me packing that into 2 pieces of baggage stipulated by Air India? I don't think I can do that.
Okay, what I need to say here is, when we took that odd flight, at that time, so we are sitting in the flight and flight is about to take off, and yeah, everybody is settled down. By then, everybody is settled down, and we wore the seatbelt sitting. This guy is just fidgeting and he's like restless, and I'm wondering, is something wrong with him? What happened? What is do you need to do I call the air hostess or what? No. I said, okay, so what is no, no, nothing. No. I feel again he's like fidgeting, and so flight is just about to take off. So something is wrong. You're not telling me. What is it? I'm not driving. I mean, what do I say for that?
We talked about kryptonite, so we cannot not talk about superpower. So, what's your travel superpower?
That's not mine.
I know where you're getting it.
I'm just the driver. I don't plan. I don't know.
Okay.
And from 25 years ago, when we had physical maps in our hands, Prabha's been the one to direct where to go, how to go.
Okay.
She doesn't say anything, I go straight. If you don't say anything, I go straight.
Okay. So I think any planner's superpower should be planning.
Okay.
So yeah, planning is my superpower.
Okay.
I plan it. I'm a very organized person. I'm a perfectionist. It works to my disadvantage most of the time. So it has to be a perfect plan. But after I plan it and print it out and it looks good, all that happens. After that, we just take a sudden detour. It doesn't matter. But the planning has to be there. So, and it helps. It does help because we start off. We do not. Most of the time, we have a destination, but we never have a exact route. So my planning is limited to places that we need to visit. So the roads we take are never in the plan. So every time we would like to go on a new road. So it helps. The combination of these two helps. So I think doing the combination of these two is what my superpower is, and uh, planning the days, planning the dates, booking, of course, everybody does, but in those days we never used to book hotels.
Right.
We would, since most of our drives are a month or something like that, we would book a hotel once in every week or 10 days, because we have to do the laundry, we have to take new, and that would be a real nice, comfortable hotel. So we would go there, give our clothes for laundry, and then we would sit, repack, do all those things, and then we go on the next. So every night after that, where we stayed didn't matter. So we were prepared for the next 1 week to 10 days of travel. This planning is what I would call my superpower, to the extent that these days, most people, most friends who know that we drive, or friends who know that we just call and say, Prabha, can you give me an itinerary for this place? It's difficult to do that because they travel by flight, they have limited number
Right.
of days and things, but still you do
Right.
that. So people do look up to me to plan a trip for them, and I do that.
Has it ever happened that you have planned something, since you're saying you're this really organized person and you love to plan, has it ever happened that you have planned something to the T and something happened and all of that just went out of the window?
Most of the time it happens in the Himalayas. You're going somewhere, then you realize there's a landslide and you're stuck for 4, 5, 6 hours. You don't know when the JCB is going to come, when the bulldozers are going to come, when they're going to cut the trees, when they're going to clear the landslide. You don't know that. And earlier, when we had a smaller car, which was like a Maruti 800 or something, really compact car, if they just cleared 4 feet of debris, we could just slide through. Now we have a bigger car, which means you need more stable ground, you need wider clearance, and you need it to be cleared more. So it takes longer. So a lot of times in the Himalayas, things go haywire. You might plan everything, then you are negotiating with the hotel saying that I said I'll check in at 4 o'clock, but I'm going to only come by midnight.
Okay.
So 7, 8 hours of delay will be there, and sometimes you've reached only the next morning. So it does happen. We were on Raid the Himalaya when in the morning when we left during the rally, the temperature was plus 12 degrees. And when we got hit by a hailstorm, it went to 0. When we came back to the camp for the night and we slept, it was minus 23. So the range of temperature that day was almost 40 degrees front to back.
Driving from Chennai north, so we would like to cover a lot of ground. So we would like to go to Rajasthan, then Punjab, then Himalayas, and then come back. So that means the temperatures.
Right.
So sometimes it go to Rajasthan 50 degrees, then in Himalayas you're 0 and minus.
Right.
So we have to plan our clothes. I mean, plan or just take a whole lot of clothes and winter wear and summer wear, and so we need to do that. Which is again planning, which we would think. But plans always go haywire, and I think that's the fun part. You plan something and it doesn't. Yeah, chalo, it's a new thing.
Right.
So it's always exciting to do new things rather than stick to the plan, which becomes boring too in a way.
Right. Do you think off-road, that is when you're not traveling, this kind of experience where you plan and then something unexpected happens, do you think that has helped you cope better in life, or any situation where this had made you more resilient?
Yeah, this is why people come to us. See, when we do startup design, you have to think out of the box, right? If you are going to do what everybody has done, then what's the point of starting something new? You're just copying somebody else. So when we do startup design, people come to us for that out of box thinking. And we are able to do that because we are always planning and then hitting the unexpected and getting out of it and getting back on track. So with that, apply that into business or into a new startup or into a new entrepreneur, especially people who are coming from employment to entrepreneurship. You are in a very structured life, which I would say is planning. And then you're going to entrepreneurship, which is like a hiccup. You don't know what's going to come, what's happening, nothing. So when you combine those two, that's this.
So I would go to the extent of saying that many of our clients, work clients, come to us and be with us just for our out of the box thinking. So they come and they know they have a problem. Then what do you think? How do you think we can handle this? So they do come to us for exactly this kind of thinking. So we can think out of the box, find some work around, or even a normal thing, planning a normal thing. They consult us because we think very differently from what a normal person thinks like. So that has worked in favor for us in life, at work, all the time. All the time it helps. We can't think normally. So
So what I'm hearing is that traveling has enabled you to become creative thinkers, creative problem solvers.
Absolutely.
Do you think, given that this podcast is about rituals and creativity, do you think we can call traveling as a creative act,
It is.
a creative way of life?
So, like they say, there's no fun in the destination if you haven't enjoyed the travel and how you got to the destination, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what it is. If the painting is an expression of your journey to create that painting, then you've succeeded. If you're only looking at the finished product and said, "Hey, damn, I didn't make a Mona Lisa, and nobody's gonna like it," then you have not traveled with it. So that's what.
Yeah. So every artist has painting. Every artist who paints a picture looks at the picture and remembers the journey to reach there. So not just but the audience who comes and looks at the picture. So like that, when we travel, people ask, where have you been? Which are the places? What are the things? For us, how we reach the place and what roads we traveled is what matters.
You know, a little while ago, you mentioned about how, one, the size of your car has gone up. And you talked about you carrying like some 27 luggages. Have you ever considered a cabin life?
Yes, there was a point in life when we said we'll sell all our house and all our assets and then live in a caravan. But unfortunately, in India, the infrastructure doesn't support it. The places I want to go to, like this heritage building, Chidambara Vilas, the road is so narrow to get here that if I brought a caravan which is the size of a bus, it would restrict me from doing a lot of things here. So getting here itself would be restricted. So that way we said no, that's not happening. We need to find a big enough car, but that is not too big enough.
Okay.
Also big enough because now we have a 7-seater car and we have people hopping onto our trips all the time. So that's why we have a 7-seater.
Yeah, so that's another thing that keeps happening. Our drives are long, so we take off minimum. If we don't do a 15-day drive, then it's not a drive for us. It feels very incomplete. So 15 days, 20 days, 1 month trips. Many people don't work like us, in the sense they don't work 24/7 when they are at home, and then so we work 24/7 at home, and then Saturdays, Sundays, all days, so that we calculate. I mean, we just save those days, and then end of the end of the project, go for a trip. But most people get 2 days, 3 days, which they can take off, and they say, okay, like, look, I'd love to travel with you, experience what you talk about. So they hop in at a point and then get off at another point. We continue. We start from somewhere, pick them up at the nearest airport, then go to some place, and then drop them off another airport, and then we carry on with our drive. So that is something we've started doing recently.
You're reminding me of a very old Hindi song which says "जीवन के सफर में राही मिलते हैं बिछड़ जाने को."
Yes.
That's journey of life. This is journey of one trip.
Yeah. Have you ever had an encounter or an incident where you have reconsidered travel? You know, have you ever felt like, shit, you know, is this a wrong decision that we made in our life and now it's too late to go back, or momentarily thought, should we stop traveling?
So when we were on the borderline drive, we had an accident, a really bad accident. We were trying to avoid fish cart that was on the road, and he was coming into us, so we tried to avoid him. The road was just recently laid, so it was not finished on the edges. So then the car toppled over about 8-10 times, and luckily we landed heads up. But Prabha's door had opened, and she was hitting the road every time we were rolling over. So her face and body was entirely bruised because it was hitting the road and the stuff. So she was in quite a bad shape. She was in hospital for about a week, but she was in bed for almost 6 months.
Wow.
And took a lot of physiotherapy and a lot of activity and stuff like that to get her back on road. Since this was the borderline drive, of course, hundreds of people all over the country were watching us on social media, and they were following us, and help came instantly. We were able to recover, get to hospital and all that stuff. But on the hospital bed, Prabha is lying there. She can't move her fingers. She's just lying there. And then she says, I don't care how long it takes for me to get back on my feet, 6 months, 1 year, whatever. But I want to get back. I want to come to the exact spot where the accident happened and continue the drive and finish it. Because we started doing the borders of India, and we need to finish the borders of India. That is resilience. And that is a moment where I felt, should we stop driving at all? Every accident makes you think, right? Did I do something wrong? Was it because of me? Was it because of the circumstances? Am I doing everything wrong? But that moment she said that, it said, no, we're not doing anything wrong. It's just one hiccup, and it's a big hiccup. It's a 6-month hiccup, but then let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So nothing I think will ever make us stop traveling.
So I look at it as, the moment you asked your question, for me, instantly what thought came to my mind is, after the accident and after we met people, everybody, the question that they don't ask, but that is what they're asking with their eyes, or what they're implying is, do you need to continue driving? Do you need to continue driving? After this, you still... So it was from others that I got this, saying, do you want to stop what you're doing? But for a moment, I have never thought of that. I have never thought of stopping to drive, to travel. So that's what it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's true resilience, like you just said. Yeah. You mentioned people were watching you over social media. However, when I look up like your Instagram, you're basically not there on social media.
No time. No time. Absolutely.
Is that like an a conscious, intentional decision to not be on social media?
No, not really.
We like to tell stories.
Right.
We do tell stories. You don't use this medium yet.
Okay.
Let me put this in perspective. Social media is what we do for a living.
Okay.
Right? So when we do startups and we do digital marketing for them, we are creating reels for clients, we are creating posts for clients, we're doing all that, and then we have this thing that it should be on Twitter, it should be on Insta, it should be on LinkedIn, it should be on YouTube, it should be on Shorts, it should be in Reels, it should be everywhere.
Right.
That's what we do for a living.
Okay.
So I think we've just not found the time or space to do it for ourselves.
Okay.
Also, when we get back from a trip, we jump headlong into work, right? Because we want to finish something project, and the moment we are back in Chennai, we are planning the next trip.
You won't believe it. You won't believe it. Most people, when they come back from a trip, they're like, we reached home, and they're tired. For us, it's just, we just can't understand how people think like that after being to some exotic destination or some nice place. We are like, even on our return journey, we are like, okay, next trip where we are going. That's the kind of thing that we are thinking.
There hasn't been time for social media. We are just about making time now and saying that I will skip 2 movies on Netflix a week and spend that time on creating some posts.
We are trying. We are trying.
Yeah. What is one travel mantra that is non-negotiable for you?
I would say, if you say travel mantra, travel as much as you can. So like I said, on our return trip from anywhere, we are thinking of the next trip. So don't stop thinking about travel. Don't stop thinking about driving to any place.
Uh, I have something coming up for me. You know, something that usually stops people from traveling is this thought that I have to spend a lot of money, right? And also, to a great extent, circling back to social media, most of the pictures that we see on social media are luxurious, doctored, fancy images. Uh, and somewhere it gives out this impression of a holiday being costly, a holiday being expensive. Does traveling have to be an expensive affair?
It can be balanced. It doesn't have to be an expensive affair, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to rough it out and stay in very uncomfortable places. It's not like that. Like I was mentioning earlier, 7 days, yeah, every night you stay. You just need clean beds and clean toilets. Just crash at one place because next day morning we are going to drive again. So we drive. But once in a week, once in 10 days, we look at some luxurious accommodation and chill. So that balances it out. So it doesn't, depending on your comfort level. If you want to stay all those 7 days in some luxurious places, then yes, it will become expensive. But you want to rough it out all through, it is not expensive. But depending on each person's, you can always balance it out.
We try to optimize daylight. So we leave at sunrise from everywhere and we reach wherever we're reaching by sunset. So we are only at places for the night.
Okay.
During the day, we are exploring everywhere. So we have done the math number of times. If it's just hopping to see a relative, her sister stays in Pune. So if you're just going from Chennai to Pune, let's take a flight or let's take a train or whatever, then you do the math, then you see the amount of money you spend going to the airport to airport, and then airport to home, and all that, you put that together, it's cheaper to drive from home to home.
Okay.
So even if it's just two people in the car, it's not that expensive. It's just that it takes more time because you're doing all the driving or you're doing on surface rather than flying. It's just if you have the time, drive, because there's no better way to see the country. Otherwise, you're just visiting airports. You're not seeing the country. Even if it's train, you're just glimpsing at a very small window outside your, outside the window of your cabin. That's it.
So I think your travel mantra is wherever you want to go, drive.
Nothing else.
Have you ever thought of writing a travel memoir?
Every single day. Like I said, we write a lot for our work, on our work. We write for our clients, we write for our websites, we write for articles, we write for newspaper articles. But getting down to write about ourselves, about what we've done.
I mean,
not
because
for-
you like you said, the one thing that you are flaunting is your stories.
Yes.
But I have not seen that documented on social media.
We are still telling
So-
those stories.
Right.
Yeah. So, but one more thing, I would say, like in today's times, everybody is on social media, flaunting their reels and everything. But in those times, there are very few people doing that. For me, it's the other way around. In those times, I've jotted down. I mean, memoir, yes, I've jotted down so many. Most of my travel, I've just jotted down in a paper, some points, some exciting things that happened. So all those things are there. So at some point of time, we have to bring out a book.
Yes, can we expect a coffee table book?
Definitely.
Or-
Yes.
Yeah. You can. We have spoken to a lot of people. In fact, there's one lady who's written a book. She herself has not traveled anywhere in India, and limited by her health and all sorts of things. But she has gone and met people who have traveled to different places. So she asked somebody, "What's your favorite place?" They said Varanasi. Somebody said Halebid, and somebody said Belur, whatever. So she wrote that in a book. And then she came to us and she said, "Okay, what is the one place that you think you want to talk about in India?" So we said Himalayas. And Himalayas extends some 2,000 kilometers, right? East to west, west to east, however you look at it. It is from Kashmir to Arunachal is the entire spectrum, and we've done the entire length of the Himalayas. So we spoke to her about it. So we have documented our thing, but somebody else has written it.
Okay.
Yeah, so what her question to, she said, I'm going to ask you a question, so give me that answer, and that would be your chapter of the book. So she said, I want you to tell me what is the worst place you have traveled to and what is the best place you have traveled to. So one word for me was Kashmir, because I feel that is it is really heaven on earth, and we've had the worst experiences there too.
Okay.
So it is the best place and it is the worst place. So that is what, and I mean, you can read more about our experiences in a book, hopefully, when the book comes. I won't say if.
Do you know what the name of the book is? Do you want to share that?
Yeah. The book is called Wait for Sight.
Okay.
So
Wait for sight. Is that something you have written, or the other lady has written?
no, it's what we are writing.
It's what you're writing.
Yeah,
Okay.
our Insta handle is also called Just Wait for Sight.
Okay.
Our domain where we write a little bit of the blogging we do is called waitforsight.com.
Okay.
So Wait for Sight is basically what you see behind the trucks.
Okay.
So when you are on the highway, you need to flash him or you need to honk your horn.
Okay.
And then he will say it's okay for you to pass. So
Okay.
you need to wait for him to give side.
Okay.
So most of the time on the road, you are behind a truck, driving behind a truck, and you see hello, okay, horn please, and all that. So you see wait for sight.
Okay.
So that's what our blog, our website, our book, our Insta, everything is called is Wait for Sight.
Great. I think that's also a wonderful place for us to stop our conversation for now. And until your book comes out, we, myself, the audience, the viewers, all of us will just wait for side.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.